Hi guys, welcome back. I'm sorry to those that were on my live earlier on and I just disappeared. Basically because I was using a pay-as-you-go phone and just run out of data. So nothing I could do about it. Unfortunately, it was gone. So much apologies for that. But I'm back on my main phone now, which has got oodles of data, so it shouldn't be a problem. In the meantime, it's not a blank. We've had a couple of small whiting. I've got something rattling on my scratching rod at the moment, but I'm kind of leaving it while I have a cup of tea. Me and Billy Bob just sitting here. Settle yourself down, mate. Sit down. Sit down. Just chilling. Been a great day so far. Beautiful evening. Amazing moon. Very fine crescent moon. Doesn't feel as cold as it did, which is a bit strange. Thanks for the thumbs up. And I don't know who's here. Oh, 4 of you now. Yeah, as I say, if you were on my earlier feed, my earlier stream, I apologise. I just run out of data. As I was saying, it was a bit of an experiment. I was using a pay-as-you-go phone so that I'd have my main phone as a backup, which is what I'm now on. So who's here now? Yeah. Go away. What's happened? I don't know if you're going to see this, but I've got lights on the tips of the rods now, so it means I can actually see if I get a bite. I say red, white and blue, but it's red, blue and green. Don't know what country's flag that is, but yeah, see that. I'm only really come on here for a short time just to apologise. Hello Simon, you alright mate? Yeah, well, if you were watching the earlier live, I apologise. It just disappeared. Basically, the phone died on me. We've got a fox stalking us around here at the moment. I think Billy Bob is scenting it. Not quite sure he knows what's going on, but there is a fox. Oh, definitely got a bite on my right hand rod. Yeah, rattling away like a good one. Mr. Whiting, I feel. I haven't got a clue what the time is. Can someone tell me what the time is? I can't see my phone because I'm talking to you on it. Oh, definitely rattle city on the right hand rod and the scratching rod. Not had anything on the blueies yet. I'd bring them in and check them, but we're not getting plagued by crabs, so I'm inclined to leave them out. It's one of those gambles. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you bring them in, you'll bring a whole bait in, and it's lost any of the scent trail that it's been laying down. Or if you don't bring it in, you're just fishing with a bare hook because the crabs have eaten it all. So I never know what to do. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, all I can say is that the baits were coming in untouched. So there's no rush to bring them in every 5 minutes. I guess the answer is to bring the one that's been out the longest in now, and if it's a whole bait, fine, leave the other one out. If it's stripped, rebait it, put it out, and bring the other one in. Definitely something rattling away on the scratching rod, so I think it'll be Mr. Whiting. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll bring that in. So just turn that around so you can see. I don't know what it is you're looking at now. Oh, you're looking at my camera. You might be looking at the camera. You want to be looking at the rods. There's the rods. See if you can see a rattle on that rod, the right hand rod. Come on, rattle. Camera shy rod. Oh, there it goes. You should have seen that rattling. So let's bring that in. See what we got. Got the dog sitting in front of me. I can't get up. Go on, Blue Bob. You're gonna have to move. That's it. Good boy. Oh, staggering around like a donkey man. Well, it's the second species of the night. It's a microscopic pouting, and it looks like, I don't know, I thought for a moment it'd taken both hooks, but so we'll get that back in the water. Again, lovely live bait size, but we're not live baiting tonight. Let's get that back in. So one little tiny pouting to add to the whiting that we had so far. See that at all. You didn't see that at all. But on the bluey bait, another cheeky little whiting. The bait is as big as a bloody fish. Oh, sorry about that, guys. If you're still there. Oh, still some people there. I apologise for abandoning you and sorting out rods and everything like that. A couple more whiting and a pout in there. Come on, Billy Bob. Come on, sit here. Sit here, turn this light off so I'm not dazzling you. Woo! Sorry about that, guys. It's not going well on the live front tonight. I don't want that. Right. So what's that? I was down on Seaford Beach earlier testing out my new Pen 525 Mag 4 cast along. They're lovely, aren't they? They are lovely. I have to say, I think of the multipliers I've tested out, I think I like my Mag 4 best. Very close run thing between the Mag 4 and the Fathom 2. It really is. But yeah, pretty cool. Right. Hey Dan, how you doing? Hi mate. Val, how you doing, Val? Hey Dan, hi mate. Pen 525 Mag 4, I love it. Hi Billy Bob. Yeah, Cornish 89, evening all. Sorry mate, I apologise that I appeared to leave you on the last streaming I was doing, but basically I was using a pay-as-you-go phone and it ran out of data, I think. You'll probably realise as you get to know me that me and technology do not get on too well. Yeah, so since you last saw me, if those of you that were in the early stream, I have had 4 or 5 whiting and 1 little pouting so far, all on the scratching. Oh no, not all on the scratching rig. One of them was on the bluey. Come here, oi, get in here, get in here, get on here. Sit on your bed. Sit on your bed. Yeah, and you also were treated to a rendition of Dueling Banjos, which is my ringtone. So I guess I'm suspecting it's my mother. She tends to ring up in inopportune moments, but a bit difficult to answer the phone and be on a live stream at the same time. I'm sure you don't want to be listening to my mother. So guys, yeah, welcome back on the beach. As you can see, the sunset has gone. Actually, it's kind of clouding over a little bit now. Still got some stars. I'm doing a time lapse on the stars, and there was a beautiful crescent moon. So I don't know if that's working. It's probably about done now, actually. Yeah, I'll pack that away in a minute. I think I've got a bit of interest on that right hand rod again. And the scratching rod, it was rattling just now. What we want to see is a big lunging bite on the blueies. Is what we want, really. That's what we would like to see. But it ain't seemed to be happening. But never mind, never mind. A night on the beach is a night on the beach. And it was one I plucked out from nothing. I was working today, so thought I'd come and have a couple of days down the beach. I'm on a fairly strict diet at the moment, so all I've eaten today is 2 boiled eggs and half a dozen raspberries. So strangely enough, I'm not that hungry, which is good, because I do need to lose a bit of weight. My coronavirus baby has grown, for sure. What's everybody else up to? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Cornish, I have had some pouting. I had a pouting and I've had some whiting, but nothing to write home about. But it's not a blank, that's the important thing. Realist. Hey mate, I'm on Seaford Beach, down at Tide Mills End. Oh, definitely got some rattling bite on that right hand rod. I don't know if you can see the green light, but it's bouncing around like a good one. But it's Mr. Whiting, I think, Walter Whiting. We'll allow him to rattle. There's 2 baits out there, see if we can't get a double header on it and make it worthwhile winding it in. I haven't actually baited up the second rig yet, so when I do wind it in, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get it back out. But the blue and the red lights, they've both got blueies on. So if we get a bite on them, hopefully it's something a bit more serious than a white. And having said that, I've just wound in the blue, the left hand rod, and there was a whiting on there which was probably only a tad bigger than the bloody bait. So whatever, over ambitious whiting. So how we do, what's going on? Ever get any weirdos coming up to you at night? My young lad wants me to take him out for a late one, but wasn't sure. Well, where are you going? Where are you going fishing? It depends where you are, really. I mean, there's weirdos everywhere, aren't there? But most of them are fishermen. Can't get much weirder than someone sitting down here drinking tea and talking to his phone. If you're local to me, I'll take him out. He'll come fishing. I'll take him fishing for a late one. If he's local to Eastbourne, I'm sure Jason would take him out. Yeah. PM me if you want to know more detail. Let me know where you are, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, Jason's doing an awful lot of getting youngsters back into the sport. Andy, I've had one ray at Seaford. I would never have classed Seaford as a ray mark, to be quite honest. I am hearing that there have been a few more caught off here. I've caught little ones off here in the past, but I did catch quite a reasonable one the end of last year or beginning of this year, much to my surprise, because I was hoping for conger eels, but I did get a ray. It's in my video, what's biting the whiting. I mean, it wasn't a monster, but it was still quite satisfying. But it's all changing, you know. As I recall it, you didn't get rays along this coast at all, but you're getting loads now. You know, Eastbourne is becoming a real top ray mark. Never used to be. What we're hoping is that, you know, that the thornbacks will be followed up by ungulates, and we'll start getting ungulates up here. Certainly get ungulates offshore from here. Yeah, I've heard about a small eye being caught. I even heard, and I don't know how true this is, off Eastbourne Pier, somebody caught a very small, and we're talking handkerchief size, common skate. I mean, it's only a tiddler, it was a baby, but people who are in the know did an ID on it and said it was a skate. So everything's changing. You've only got to look out here now. When I used to fish here 40 years ago, sitting here, I would have seen half a dozen trawlers, all close in, all within a couple of miles of the shore, going up and down, pair beam trawling and what have you. I know everybody talks about, you know, these big super trawlers and what have you, but they tend to be offshore. There isn't the trawler fleet that used to be along here, and that's got to benefit the fishing, the inshore fishing. You know, I was having a conversation with, again, somebody who knows what he's talking about, and he was agreeing with me that actually the fishing is better now than it's ever been. Don't know how true that is. But, you know, as I say, you didn't used to catch rays along here, you do now. Didn't used to get plaice along here, you get lots of plaice now. Yeah, I can remember fishing here, as I say, in late 80s, and all you used to catch was poxy pouting and dinglings and the old dab, and then, but you did get a cod run, which we don't get anymore. Who knows, it is all changing. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly it. Is you get the odd dickhead asking you stupid questions, and you get the odd pisshead. But I've never encountered any weirdos. I'll tell you what though, I don't know if you watched that that movie that's been on, Seaspiracy. I think that we're going to get a backlash from that, and we're going to start getting people who are opposed to fishing coming along and giving us a hard time. because although that film makes some very valid points in the early parts of the film, it is a bunch of vegans who are trying to convince us all to become vegans, and they're using all sorts of emotional blackmail to do that. So yeah, so just be a little bit aware of that. I mean, as I say, it made some very valid points about plastics in the sea, about whales, about overfishing. But if you watch the film again, you'll realise that they go into a big emotional domain when they start talking about fish having feelings and all that stuff. And we are going to get a lot of people coming along going, oh, it's wrong that you're fishing, fish have feelings, blah, blah, blah. And you've only got to watch the other film that they put out, which is Cowspiracy, which is along the very similar vein. It starts off making some very valid points, then it starts getting a bit emotional, and then towards the end, it's just vegans spouting off that the only thing that will save the planet is being a vegan. And yeah. Hey Val, you all right? Yeah, realist, I'm glad you agree with me. As I say, I'm hearing a lot of people saying, oh, have you seen that Seaspiracy? It's great, isn't it? No, it's not. It's a bloody propaganda film for vegans. Just be alive to it. And as I say, I think we will get young Greta Thunbergs coming along and giving us a hard time for fishing. So just be prepared for it. I do think we've got to clean up our act. I think that we've got to start treating our fish a little bit better. You know, trying to return them, not just chucking them back in. You know, not dragging them up the beach. You know, a bit like coarse anglers. And coarse anglers treat their fish really carefully. We tend to haul them out, drag them up the beach, leave them hanging around for ages, and then lob them back in when they've got no chance. Yeah, that's just my rant over. Yeah. What's anybody else think about that? How you doing, Val? I want to do a big session, minimum 24 hours down your way. Where would you suggest after Rays, really? Well, I would say that probably your best bet for Rays down my way is, well, it depends what type of ray. If you're after thornbacks, then Langley Point, without a doubt. If you want undulates, you want to go down Bognor Way, sort of Shoreham and west of there. They do get undulates there, and they do down Bognor Way. They also get stingrays. So yeah. So when we did our tackle shop tour, the Isle of Sheppey, there's apparently a location at the Isle of Sheppey where you can catch hundreds of rays. I mean, like the guy was saying he'd had 100 in a night. I don't know how true that was. It was a fisherman's tale or not, but you know. Well, thanks, Chris. I've not seen the show you're speaking of. It's on Netflix. It's called Seaspiracy. As I say, they've also done a Cowspiracy. I don't know which one came first, but I noticed I was scrolling through Netflix the other day and I saw it. I sat and watched it, and it made some really interesting facts. But you've got to realise that they've been very selective with the data, and all the data they produce is to support their argument. You know, and essentially they were saying that all of the Greenpeace and all these people have got it wrong. All these people that are fighting the oil companies and the car manufacturers are getting it wrong. It's actually cows that are creating the methane and the greenhouse gases. And they then started to say that the wash off from cattle farming was causing dead spots in the ocean. But I think they realised that they were arguing against their own argument, because they then went into a rant about fishing for a little while on the Cowspiracy thing. And obviously the Seaspiracy, it again starts off about plastics in the ocean, which we all agree with. There's too much and we need to do something about it. It then went into whaling and showed some pretty emotive film of dolphins and pilot whales being slaughtered. And then it started getting into the science and scientists saying that fish have feelings and they get emotional and all sorts of other. crap. And then it kind of finishes off saying, I've made a decision not to eat fish. Right, that's your decision, mate. Well done. But as I say, just be aware of it. I think it's going to cause an upswelling of antis, and we just got to be alive to that. You have to think in a box. What do you think about Japan and all that nuclear waste off the coast? I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. I'm pretty sure that Japan's not the only people that are dumping things in the ocean that they shouldn't. But is that as a result of their meltdown or what? I mean, oh, Mandy, you really don't have to, but thank you very much. If you do want to give, if you feel the need to send me money, guys and gals, can you do it using my PayPal account rather than doing it through YouTube, because YouTube will take a percentage of that. The PayPal me link is on the banner of my YouTube page, title page. It's up in the top right hand corner. There's a little PayPal me link, and as long as you click the friends and family, then it all comes to me. But Amanda, it's greatly appreciated, and you've done, that's not the first time you've done that for me. That's very nice of you. And all I've sent you is a couple of stickers, so I do owe you big time. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. It won't buy bait, it will buy me camera equipment, because I'm a lot out of pocket on camera equipment. Actually, somebody said, and I didn't realise this, that actually if you as long as you declare your YouTube earnings, which are minuscule, you can offset all your expenses against tax, which is very interesting, because I have bought an awful lot of gear. I'm a bit of a gadget hound, and so yeah, it has been fishing there at Sheppey, but only small ones, and not a very picturesque place to be. South Coast looks lovely. Yeah, man. Yeah. It is. I mean, Seaford Beach. You can park right next to the beach. It's free parking at the moment. I think there is some rumblings they're going to start charging for it. So you can come down here and park next to the beach. You're not meant to do overnight camping, but I think people do. I'm not. I have fished down Bognor. It's not so user friendly for the parking side of things. You're probably better off ringing up the local tackle shops down there and just asking them where to go and what to do. If you tell me where you want to go, and I'll research it for you if you like. I mean, Langley, the best place to, well, one of the good places to fish Langley is right next to what they call the Poo Castle, which essentially is a sewage works, but it looks like a castle. My bobcat video went viral, 7k views. Wow. I haven't seen it. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah. Can you PM me the link, and I'll have a look at that. Yeah, I've had a couple of videos that have gone to that sort of number, but most of mine are around about 1,500. What are you seeing, Billy Bob? There is a fox skulking around here somewhere. There's the fox over there. You won't be able to see him on the camera, but about 200 yards away, I've got his eye shine. I think it's upwind of us, and I think Billy Bob's got scent of it. Look at him, he's scenting the fox. He's scenting the fox. Where's the fox? Where's the fox, Billy Bob? Where's that fox? Where's that fox? There's a dog. All right, he's prepared to go and take on a fox, but he's scared of a chicken. I've got 3 chickens and he's scared of them, believe it or not, which is good because I'd rather be scared of them than try to kill them. The trouble is, I think the day that the chickens run away from him, he'll think it's a game. Good taupe spots. It's an attempt at a distressed rabbit call. Yeah, squeaking a fox. I think the foxes here have all been squeaked, so they know what it is. Taupe marks. It's not known for taupe off the shore here. I know there's quite a few people who are saying that they're determined to try. You get smooth hounds, but I've never heard of a taupe getting caught off here. But then, of course, if you're not fishing for them, they're going to bite you off anyway. So you know, you might be that you hook into something and you come in with no hooks on it. It's a taupe that's taken it. Certainly some good taupe marks offshore, but not monsters. Not monsters. They're all up to about £10 mark. I had certainly had 3 or 4 on a boat last year, but no monsters. No monsters. Jason Scott, I took out, the Eastbourne fisherman, and he was fishing with a set of mackerel feathers with a slow jig on the bottom, and he suddenly hooked into something and he was playing his fish, and I said no, you just caught the bottom, and he pulled quite a nice about £8 taupe in on the slow jig, which was quite nice to see. But there is some marks, and I've just put this shading feature thing on my sat nav, you know, my GPS, and it's amazing, and you can see all the little gullies and runs and what have you. So I'm determined I'm going to go out and have a go for some taupe this year, because there's features that I didn't know where they were, and I now know where they are, which I've heard are good taupe marks. So I'm going to give them a go. So yeah. So yes and no. I don't see any reason why you couldn't pick up taupe here. I mean, there's plenty of flatfish here. With 3D scan. Well, I don't know. I can't comment. I had a 3D scanner back in the early days of it, and it was never that great, because the problem is most of this stuff is all right in shallow water, but you know, here you're fishing over 100 feet, and so it's not very effective. But the overlay that that Lawrence and Garmin have now developed, which is basically it's a 3D map, is absolutely spot on accurate. So I installed it on my Lawrence about a month ago, and all my waypoints are still on there, and the waypoints are bang on top of the, you get a picture of the wreck, you can see the whole layout of the wreck, and I've got my waypoints all the way along the top of it, so they're absolutely spot on accurate. And we were steaming out to a wreck week before last now, and on the way out we were passing over features, you know, like lumps and bumps, and you think that's not even on the chart, you know, so no one's fishing that, but they've got to be fish holing marks. So you know, it's opening a whole new world up for me. It's going to be really cool. We're going to have a good summer this year fishing. A friend of mine was fishing a wreck in 2 parts during the week. He said there were loads of boats fishing it, but because he had the 3D feature thing on his thing, he could see the gap in between the wrecks, and he was just drifting down the gap between the wrecks, and every time he went through the gap between the wreck, he was getting a bass every single drift, whereas the boats around him weren't catching anything. So it gives you that ability, that you know, that accuracy. How am I doing? Useless. I'm doing all right. It's not a blank. I've not caught anything worth taking home. Just caught whiting. Hello, fishy. So I don't know why, but I don't. The text messages don't come up. I have to scroll backwards and forwards to get them up. Or maybe I'm just not seeing them. All right. Okay. All right. So Josh, you were thinking about going out on the boat? Yeah, there is some stuff off the boat, as we said. Yeah. So 3D scan, yeah. With the 3D scan, that's what you want to need. You want to be seeking out the gullies and fishing the gullies for tope. Um, yeah. Well, I'm holding the phone in my hand, and my thumb has just gone numb. It's quite cold now. In my pocket, I've got my hand warmer in here, but I think the battery's thrown it. Go ahead. Well, it's very quiet. I honestly don't know what the time is. Could somebody tell me what the time is? Tomorrow early, as long as it stays nice. Well, you're out on a boat or on the shore? Sunday's looking quite good, I think. Oh, 22:12. Okay, cool. Right, it's getting near my packing up and going home time, I think. As I said, all I've eaten today is 2 boiled eggs and half a dozen raspberries, so I ought to be starving hungry, but actually, strangely enough, I'm not, which is good. But I have got some chicken waiting for me at home. Oh, you're going out on a boat from Newhaven? All right, okay. What are you hoping for? There's a lot of pollock on the wrecks out in Newhaven at the moment. You need to go offshore a bit. If you've got the numbers for the Brisbane, there are a lot of bass on it. A lot of bass on the Brisbane at the moment. So you know there is, because the commercial boys have been on it. Yeah. See you, Andrew. And I was hearing the other day, I don't know if it's still the case, there were a lot of bass around the end of the ship pipe. But watch for the gulls, because the gulls were, the bass had driven a small fish up onto the surface, and the gulls were feeding on the small bass, on the small fish. Yeah, I suppose the Brisbane is quite a close one. How big's your boat? What sort of boat have you got? The reason I ask is that I'm the chairman of Newhaven Deep Sea Anglers, and I've got a feeling we might have a spare berth. Yeah, I mean, what size boat you got? What type of boat is it? If you're around Sunday, I'm going out Sunday with Jason. I've got an idea where I'm going. Maybe you can follow us out. What's feeling good? Well, the update is I've had some whiting and I've had a pouting, but nothing to write home about. I have done a little bit of videoing for a video that I'm putting together, but it's about scratching rigs, so the little bits that I've done tonight will fit in quite nicely, I think. And I've also done hopefully some time lapse, which had a beautiful crescent moon in it, so with a bit of luck. But I've yet to see a big lunging bite. It's April and the fishing ain't great in April. Yeah, and as you say, it beats the blank. I have not had a blank, and the whole point of my scratching rig is exactly that. It's a beat the blank rig. All right, okay, 18-foot kingfisher, 180 s with a 70-yard 2-stroke. All right. Where are you keeping it? Where do you keep that? The reason I ask is that if you're interested, I mean, obviously don't bother if you're not. PM me. I'll give you the details of the club secretary, and you can speak to him about maybe coming and join the club, because it is definitely a cheaper way of keeping your boat than launching it. Definitely be good to have a chat about mooring. I have to renew end of the month. Right, okay. Yeah, Josh, PM me. Send me a message to my Facebook Messenger, or give me some sort of means to contact you, and I'll give you the details of the club secretary, and we'll talk about whether we've got space or not. I've got a feeling we've got one space, but he knows better than I do. But it'll be certainly cheaper than what you're paying now, without a doubt. The only thing you will need is if you're keeping your boat in the water, you will need a trailer for it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start thinking about calling it a night. The sea is coming up the beach now. I'm going to start packing up. So I'm going to love you and leave you all. Thank you very much for rejoining me. Again, much apologies to those of you that were in the earlier stream if I suddenly disappeared. As I explained, but some of you might not have heard me. I was using a pay-as-you-go phone, and I think it ran out of data. More for me, I should have put more data on it. But it's all experimenting. I'm still learning all this live streaming malarkey. It's quite a new thing to me. I also seem to be doing something that stops them being saved and deletes them, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. So I just have to make sure I don't touch it. I think I press a button that says, do you want to end? And I say yes, and it stops saving it. So I'm going to say ta-da, good night. Billy Bob is also, he's shivering a bit now. It's a bit cold for him. He's a wuss, my dog. So we're going to love you and leave you. We're going to say good night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully, as I say, we're going out on Sunday. I think I'm going to be too far out to do a live from offshore, but Jason Scott's coming with me. We're going to go fairly early, and I've got an idea of some wrecks I want to visit, with a view to trying to get some pollock off them. Yeah. Thanks for everything. Let me just make sure I've not missed any of the text messages. Under his bed, what's that? How are you? Fishing under his bed. In New Haven Marina currently. Yeah, definitely be interested. All good, Joe. Fantastic. Good night, Chris. Have a good one. Cheers, guys. Essex Willis, it was. Really enjoyed doing it though. Good night, all. CJ, pleasure, buddy. Cheers, guys. Night, all. Yeah, CJ, Billy Bob. Have a good one. Sounds like the hunt for a trailer begins then. I will send you a PM. Yeah, cheers. As I say, PM me and we'll talk about it. Good night all.